Speaking of vag power,
I see what you did there.
yeah, you see, you see what we did there. Speaking of vag power, Suicide Squad, Margot Robbie boasts that our upcoming Pirates of the Caribbean reboot will feature a lot of girl power. Oh fuck! No. Right, okay. Let's have a look. Let's have a quick recap of the car crashes from girl power films over the last year, and it's because they've got an established franchise and they've tried to twist it instead of creating something new, or even something established that was girl power, like Charlie's Angels, yeah, girl power. Those films were silly, fun, and really, really enjoyable, yeah, and they were completely fucked up because they went down the whole kind of, I can't describe it, SJW, politically correct way of describing women, where it should have just been a silly, fun film like they did when they had what's her much, Lucy Liu, I can't remember her name now, from E.T. And
not Charlize Theron, is it?
Diaz. No, not Charlize Theron.
Cameron Diaz, you say?
Cameron Diaz was one of them, and
the other one.
And the other one, we'll just call it the other one. Those were fun films. They were silly and stupid, and you could check your brain in, and you'd have a laugh, and it was fun, which was great. It was absolutely fantastic. But they insist of trying to shove this through on a political level rather than on entertainment level. So it's, despite this, the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise has had a lot of Drew Barrymore. Thank you very much, Keith. Have had a lot of what do you call it? Lots of kind of female empowered characters. Yeah. So we had Naomi Harris's Tierra Domer, who was supposed to be the sea goddess. He went a bit giant, which I kind of didn't like the idea. You had Penelope Cruz was the antagonist Angelica character, who was in the one with Blackbeard. And then you had Keira Knightley's Elizabeth Swann, who turned around and took control of her own ship by becoming the Pirate King. So it's not like women were held back in these stories. They were given roles and this, that, and the other.
And it wasn't forced either.
It wasn't forced either. It was part of the story.
It was part of the story. And Elizabeth Swann, going from where she was in the hierarchy of, her dad being who he is and so forth, and being married off and all that stuff, to being the Pirate King at the end, by being voted in to be the Pirate King, I suppose, Queen, but they called her the Pirate King. That's a progression there. That's great storytelling. I really don't mind her being the Pirate King. I think that's great. I like the story.
But that was in the other Pirates of the Caribbean stories, which were a bit more.
But Baxter's picked up on something here. Reboot. Why are they rebooting something that is not?
Because it needs to have today's political sensibilities in it. It can't be a male thing, even though the pirates were predominantly male, with the exception of probably Anne Bonny, Anne Bonny, who famously got off being hanged by the British by making herself pregnant by shagging one of the guards, who says female privilege didn't exist back then. And that's how she got it off. She got off it. The other great one was a guy called, I've probably said this 100 times, a guy called Calico Jack, who served under a guy called Charles Vane, and he persuaded the judges in the courts that he was forced to do it because Vane was such a horrible, brutal person. He then fucked off and then stole. Raided a bank in Cuba and stole a Spanish man of war.